Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be going over 6 brand new highlighters from Nabla Cosmetics. And in fact, these aren't actually highlighters. Let me get the correct name for this. These are the Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powders. And I have all 6 of them here for you. When I did my recent purchase or pass video, they showed a sneak peek of one, or at least Trend Mood did. And I remember looking at it and thinking, wow, the finish of this looks beautiful. I have Crown and Devonizer, and I love those highlighters, and I knew that I was going to like this, but unfortunately, this shade I knew was going to be too dark for me. And as it turns out, it is. This is the shade Lucid Jungle. And then a couple days later, I saw that there was more than one, definitely ones that were going to work out for my skin tone, and I got really excited. And I got even more excited when I got them in PR. So now I have all 6 of them, and I'm going to show you me using all 6 of these. Whether I use them on my eyes or my face, you will see all 6 of these in action. But before I do, we got to get into the 411 swatches and information. Each of these retail for 22 euros, which translates into roughly 24.53 US dollars, I believe. And you're getting 6.5 grams of product. The case is so lovely. This is the shade Truth. It's a see-through pink plastic, nice case. It doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. It feels really nice in your hands. And then the back has the name of it in the description. And then you have this foiled like glow powder. If you can see that right there, they are really, really beautifully made and beautifully packaged. In my personal opinion, I really like the way that they did this. On the Nabla Cosmetics website, it reads, a kaleidoscope of thin and dazzling pearls that redefine the concept of light. 6 shades, 0 thickness, will light up your skin with a mirrored effect and unexpected brilliance. An adherent, absolutely imperceptible formula with a sublime finish that shines inside a precious and thin packaging like colored glass. Wearing Skin Glazing, sun reflections will envy your light. Now let's get into the shades and swatches. First we have Ozone, then Amnesia, Privilege, Lucent Jungle, Truth, and Adults Only. I have a light medium skin tone, and all of these work on my face with the exception of 2. So I went ahead and did an eye look with those 2 shades and then added a combination of a few of the other ones. But I'm going to get into the eye look first, and then I am going to demo the other ones on my cheeks. BK Beauty 201 and MAC Soft Brown. I am going to use this as a transition shade. So I'm going to just go into my crease, back and forth windshield wiper motions. And circular motions to blend it upward so that it will go in the transition area. I always just like to start things into my crease and then work upward. MAC 217 and Adults Only. I am again going to start directly into the crease, back and forth windshield wiper motions, and then I am going to lightly work this upward, but I'm not going to take it as high as I took the last shade. I just want to get a nice blend because I'm going to be packing this on the lid. Using the same shade, I'm taking an Esom W21 and I'm going to place this all over the lid. Using the same brush, I'm going to go in with Lucent Jungle. I am going to apply this right at the lash base and kind of work in a half moon motion. I'm going to build this up a little bit. So I want it to be kind of intense, just mainly at the base of my lashes. But I will tap out around the edge just so that it's nice and rounded and not too harsh. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Amnesia using a MAC 242. I'm just going to take this and highlight my brow arch. I'm going to drag it down so it's going to connect with my highlighter later. Going back in with Adults Only on a Royal Inlay Nickel BOM 48. I'm using this shade Damp, and I'm going to apply it to the lower lash line. I have been asked before how I dampen my brushes, if I do the shadow, or in this case highlighter, glaze, whatever, first, or if I get my brush wet first. And I always get the product on the brush and then I spray it, and I spray it about a foot away from the brush. So spraying the brush after getting the product on the brush. And that's just how I do it. It's not that there's a right or wrong way. I'm going to go in with Ozone. I'm using a BK Beauty 204. I'm going to apply this to the inner corner, and then I'm going to add on inner rim liner. Then I will buff out the edge of this with a blending brush, a clean one. To achieve this very glowy look, I started off and I already had my blush done and my bronzer. Everything on my face was done except for my highlighting. Now this shade right here, Truth, cannot be used as a highlighter on me. It's definitely more of a blush topper. So that's exactly what I did. And I took their new cheek shaper brush and I grabbed a bit of the product and I placed it right back here on the outskirts of my face, topping my blush and then just kind of buffing it out. This is beautiful. It's very skin-like, and you can see that glass-like appearance, and it just melts into your skin. It's stunning. I don't know what else to say other than it is stunning. After I did that, I went ahead and I took one of their other new brushes. This is, I feel like I'm gonna mispronounce this. Bonnie Mine brush, I'm not sure. I had zero product on it. I just took this right around the edges and I made sure that everything was diffused and blended into the skin before I went in with my highlighters. On my right side of my face, I'm taking my Linda Hallberg 306. This is personally my favorite brush for any type of gelée type of formula or anything that is pressed a little bit harder in the pan. This is my favorite highlighting brush to use. So I grabbed this and I took Amnesia and I just went right in this little C area right here. And you can see this is so bright and intense, and it's not thick at all. I love that that's in the description because it's very, very true. This isn't, you know, like the Marc Jacobs. That's what I think of when I think of like a thick highlighter formula. And even sometimes like the BECCA ones, they're just a little bit thicker. They're creamy, but they're thick, and you really have to buff them into the skin. These require just about like no work. You just need to have the right brush and it just goes right on in. Then after I used this shade, I again took that brush and I went around the edges, just again making sure that everything was nice and smooth and seamless. For the left side of my face, I went in with the lightest one in the collection. This is Ozone, and again, I'm using my Linda Hallberg 306. I just brushed it off on my pants and get any excess highlight off, and then I go in, and this is so bright, you guys. It is like bing, but in such a beautiful way. You can wear your highlight or skin glaze like this if you want to. I just prefer to go around with a brush or a buffing powder of some sort and just kind of soften out the edges. I want the glow, but I don't want to have any harshness. I'm a little bit more glowy even today than what I typically would be, but because it was a skin glazing video, I was like, I'm gonna leave some of the shine, and I took the excess, like I didn't dip back into this. I just took the excess from my brush and I went on my forehead, chin, and on my nose a little bit, and that just went a long, long way. And again, this is very, very skin-like. These aren't glittery or anything like that. This is like straight up sheen, and they are lovely. Now I'm going to show you Privilege and Truth by itself, just on top of foundation. I didn't have powder or bronze or anything else on. I didn't want to I didn't want to do my whole face twice, so I just used my foundation, concealer, or whatever. And I'm using Privilege first. If you are anything lighter than an NC20, I wouldn't suggest this one for by itself as a highlight. Then I wanted to show you Truth. Now this is the one that I used as my blush topper. This, you can see, is definitely too dark. as a highlighter on me. It is a blush topper, but I figured I would show you guys anyway. It looks ridiculous, but you can see the sheen and everything without any other powders or anything else being underneath it. So that is all of them. And I have to tell you, they did such a great job with the shade range and with the formula. And I really, really like, okay, my favorites are definitely Ozone. I'm going to use this more during the winter because it is a little bit bright for me right now, but for spot highlighting, I love this kind of shade. I love Amnesia, and then I really liked Truth as a blush topper. And it's not, if it had glitter and stuff in it, I probably wouldn't use it so much, but because it's not glittery, I like the effect that it has on the skin. Privilege is really, really nice, but if I was going to pick like 3 of my absolute favorites, it would be those 3. So Truth as a blush topper, and then the 2 highlights that I like the most are Amnesia and Ozone. But I mean, Privilege is really pretty too. Okay, I don't know. All of them are gorgeous. And on deeper skin tones, Lucent Jungle is going to be amazing. And then using this as a blush topper for really rich skin tones, stunning. Like these combined, let me just, I feel like I have to do this. Hold on. I just dug my nail into it. That makes me so sad. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of this. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. What is the shade? Adults Only. And then right at the tip, I'm going to take some of the Lucent Jungle. So there they are side by side. I'm just going to mix them together in the center so you can see those are going to be beautiful together on the skin if you have a really deep complexion. Gorgeous. Anywho, if you're wondering if I like these or not, clearly I do. I like these a lot. I think they are beautiful. And actually really like the brushes too. These 2 right here, there's 3. I'll talk about this one in a second. I like the handle and the ferrule, and I like how they're both the same. So there's no disconnect between the texture of the ferrule and the handle. These are beautiful. This one is the actual highlighter brush. Now this is a bit more flimsy, so if you like that type of highlighter brush that is going to add just a smaller amount, my Linda Hallberg brush definitely picks up more. It's going to pick up more and it's going to blend it into the skin just a little bit better in my opinion. This is the type of brush I like to use for a loose powder or a loose highlighter. I like to use this kind of brush right here. So if I was going to pick up my By Terry powder or any kind of powder to go underneath my eyes, this is the type of brush I like to use, or a loose highlighter, I like this type of brush. But for this type of formula, I prefer a stiffer brush. So that's just my opinion, but the brushing of itself is nice. And just so you guys know, those were sent to me with these as well. Anywho, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you're wondering what's on my lips, it's now in the description box, you guys. This is my collab with Christian Odette, and it is Beauty and Kitten together. I'm so excited about this. If you have not seen that video, I'm going to link that down below as well. All right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.